Hello everyone, this is Jan with you. And today I decided to record a conversational format video for you, in which I will talk about my journey in trading. I will share how I discovered trading for myself, the challenges I faced, and how I reached the results I have now. Currently, I earn approximately $30,000 a month from trading. A fairly large number of people are joining the channel, and I really hope you'll find it interesting to listen to this and get to know me better. And also guys, I want to ask you to support this video with a like and a comment. Ask questions. Let's communicate. Because YouTube has recently started cutting views very actively, and we definitely need to deal with this. Let's get started. Let's start with the fact that my name is Jan. I'm 26 years old, and currently I live in a city called Moscow. I've been involved in trading for over 6 years. Before that, I worked as a math tutor. I used to have quite a difficult life, as it seems to me, or rather, not difficult, but challenging. At 18, I moved to Moscow, enrolled in a university, and I had absolutely no money for anything, to the point where I couldn't even find 30 rubles for the bus. Instead, I would walk for 30 minutes. Of course, my parents sent me a small amount of money, but it was barely enough to cover basic needs. That is to eat, and that's basically it. At that time, I lived in a dormitory. After that, I realized that I needed to grow somehow and start earning money. At that moment, I was very good at mathematics. I decided to start working as a tutor. And actually, at that time, I really enjoyed it. At first, because I generally love sharing the knowledge I have in my head. That is, I know mathematics at a very good level, and at that time, I was able to convey the essence in fairly simple terms and prepare students for exams. At that time, I was earning about $1,000 a month. And actually, that was relatively good money compared to what I had before. At that time, it was about 70,000 rubles. Why did I decide to change this field? The first reason, I didn't see any prospects in this line of work. That is, I understood how to earn $1,000 here. I understood that I could open some kind of school, somehow scale it all up. But beyond $5,000, I didn't see any further. It's clear that this is relatively small money because now I earn 6 times more. And the second reason, as I mentioned, I really enjoy sharing knowledge. So I have transferred my brain and want to pass on some knowledge to another person. But when you're 18 and need to take exams, it's clear that there's very little motivation to attend classes and listen, because few people like mathematics. As a rule, it's a necessary step to get into university. It was at that time that I realized I needed to change fields and started actively searching for one. What criteria did I use to choose a new field? First, the field should have a long lifespan. I've already mentioned in previous videos that I'm not interested in situational earnings. Well, for example, spinners were popular with us. I'm not interested in buying these spinners, selling them, and then the hype dies down. And no one needs spinners anymore. I wanted to find something that would bring in money for a very, very long time. And it's clear that trading will most likely live forever, unless some cataclysm occurs, because people will always be buying and selling something. And we earn precisely from this difference. More specifically, from predicting where the price will go, specifically in our niche, which we are engaged in. Second, naturally, this field should bring in money. And the biggest moat advantage of trading is that the ceiling is essentially unlimited. I have acquaintances who earn more than $100,000. There are even acquaintances who earn more than $150,000. And still, this figure can be pushed even higher, meaning you can earn even more. As it seems to me, this is a very big advantage because, in general, at my level of trading, you can already dedicate 1 to 2 hours a day and basically live very well, rent a nice apartment, or even save up a bit and buy one even in Moscow, have a good car, travel, and essentially provide for your close circle. The third very important parameter, I didn't want to depend on anyone. I wanted to work alone. Again, it depends on the person. Some people like working in teams, some like working with bosses. I didn't want that from the start because I want to take full responsibility for the actions and decisions I make. Well, probably many feel the same way. And the fourth big advantage, or D, I wanted my income level to depend on how much time I spend on it. More precisely, not even time, but my effort. That is, the more effort you put in, the more you push yourself through certain moments. the more you start to earn. In this regard, trading is a very cool thing. And the fifth point can also be included here. It's a remote type of earning. Again, for some it's a plus, for others a minus. There are many videos where a trader is sitting somewhere on a beach, with a laptop, sipping tequila and trading. Perhaps, guys, such situations exist, but usually everything is romanticized here too. The main thing here is to get into the work process. For some it's easier to do, for others it's more difficult. Like for example, for me. So I combined all these parameters and realized that I want to engage in trading. And at that moment, a dark period actually began in my life, because at first, when I started trading, everything was going relatively well. I put a crown on my head, thinking that I already knew absolutely everything and would just become a millionaire in 1 year. And as it often happens with many, when you put on the crown and it seems like everything is going well, a downturn occurs. And during this downturn, which lasted about 6 months, you can imagine approximately 180 days of having a terrible mood every day, losing money every day, and fighting with yourself every day not to give it all up. And in fact, a very strong apathy/depression developed. At that moment, I lost $10,000. Yeah, for someone, this might not be a lot of money, but at that moment it was practically everything I had. I lived very frugally. Even when I was a tutor, I saved most of what I earned, because I wanted to stand firmly on my feet and, accordingly, feel confident. And at this moment, in fact, I was very shaken. Specifically at this period, I already had a choice. Either you keep trying, or you stop and continue working as a tutor for the rest of your life. I told the guys the story. In school, I did boxing. I used to have back then the first adult category. It's clear that now it's almost no boxing at all, because I haven't practiced it for quite a long time. So, I could have put in a little effort, then become a candidate for Master of Sports in boxing. That's pretty cool. But I found some excuses for myself. In the end, I was drinking beer, hanging out with friends. I didn't become a candidate for Master of Sports, and in fact, I still sometimes think about it. I regret it when I fall asleep because I needed to put in just a little effort to achieve that goal. I backed out then. And at this particular moment, I remembered this situation, set aside for myself, if I'm not mistaken, $500. And said, here I have $500. Either I start earning from them, or I lose them and forget about trading. And then I began to analyze every situation very carefully, searching for information on forums. Again, guys, there was much less information available back then than there is now. Who started trading 6 or 7 years ago will support my word. You had to search for everything. There was a huge amount of junk that absolutely led nowhere. And with these small steps, I began trading and started to grow some capital. Approximately, it probably took me another 6 months to reach a good level. At this point, there was no crown being worn. I reached a good earning level and basically earned like that. This lasted, guys, for quite a long time. I lived with a girl, we drank wine, watched movies, and basically it was a vegetable mode, because I remember myself 3 years ago, I was earning around $10,000 a month. Although at that exchange rate, it was probably a bit more. Well, roughly I was earning $10,000 to $15,000 a month from trading. And basically I didn't need more. We were living with the girl. There was enough money for everything, and I didn't feel like growing at those moments. Then again, a rather difficult, unpleasant episode happened in my life. We broke up. Again, I hit rock bottom emotionally and realized that I needed to find a way out. And at that very moment, a YouTube channel appeared, a Telegram channel appeared, which I still run to this day. Here's our Telegram channel. Here I post the results of the session with the team. For example, here's the latest session. This is the result for the day. I showed it today. You can go and take a look in principle. It was relatively recently, that is, on Wednesday the 9th. The video will be released on Saturday. Here's an open session that was conducted on this channel. So as you can see, the engagement is quite good. In general, guys, I recommend everyone to subscribe to the Telegram channel because there is a lot of useful information here on the topic of trading, and in principle, it is very active right now. I'm very involved in it right now. You might be a beginner, maybe you can't trade profitably. You might ask, Jan, what would you do in my place? But It's clear, guys, that the path I took is very difficult. It's costly in terms of finances, because you test every trade with your own money and in terms of time. I understand all of this, I remember all of this, Sep. I started just like you, from scratch. Again, there is a very simple way. Click on the pinned message, join our team, and gain access to the training course in which I have shared all the knowledge I currently have. Here, all knowledge is reinforced with homework. In principle, this course will definitely work great for another 2 years. Every day I receive positive feedback about it. You can drop by sometime to our stream, because they also happen quite often, and ask the guys, how do you like Jan's course? Almost every stream has team members present, they will tell you everything. Also, guys, there are trading sessions. We traded today. This is more of a tool for beginners. If you don't know anything yet, you join the team. Trade with us during the sessions. We trade twice a day. And as you progress through the course, you gradually start trading independently. And you follow the path where you, accordingly, earn money. I'll also show you the bot. It's a very cool bot. There were videos on YouTube recently. You can check them out to see how I scaled up $100. There were 2 videos where I explain how it all works. In short, there is a bot that at the moment $6,000 of my money every month. It takes a huge amount of various values from the trading site, really a very large amount, runs it all through a huge prompt, and outputs it in this format as a signal. This is specifically a signal channel where signals come every 15 minutes. Yes, because this channel has a 15-minute expiration. Now I'll tell you a bit about the plans that are generally in place for the future. In principle, these plans can be read on the YouTube channel. If you click on the pinned message here, I'm building a team that will earn $1 million a month. I am confident that we will achieve this goal. And at the moment, there is a very high level of ambition, motivation to, in principle, become the top one in this field. We are taking the CS. Now we will occupy the CS. And we will definitely expand to English, Spanish, and other languages. And in our own way, with our guidance, I will help people who don't know how to trade to retrain or conversely learn from scratch, and accordingly also achieve some results. For the most part, guys, I think I've briefly told my story. If you like this conversational video format, leave comments, give likes, and we'll make more videos like this. And maybe someday I'll make a similar video, that will last about 30 minutes, where I will recount almost every year of my life in detail. Thank you very much for watching. Again, I repeat, be sure to subscribe to the Telegram channel, because here with you, it's easier to communicate when all the latest news comes out, right here. That's all, guys. Thank you all. Goodbye.